If you cross the threshold of 60, chances are you've dedicated your years to diligent work, nurturing a family, supporting others, and tackling life's demands. Now, as you enter this new phase, whether you label retirement a fresh start or simply your moment, something profound begins to unfold. You start to recognize that life isn't about pursuing more. It's about selecting what truly enriches you. Yet, here's an unspoken reality. Embracing a fuller life often requires release. Not piling on new tasks, but shedding what weighs you down, habits, mindsets, and pressures that no longer fit. In this video, we'll dive into 9 elements worth considering letting go of after 60. Not because you've erred, but because you merit greater happiness, tranquility, and liberty. These insights stem from over a decade of conversations with individuals like you, people in their 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond, who've taught me the essence of thriving. Stay with me to the end, as the final point might transform how you greet tomorrow morning. Let's get started. 1. Release the grip of fearful saving. The first step to loosen after 60 is letting go of saving driven by fear. This might feel counterintuitive at first. After all, saving has been a cornerstone for many of us. Set aside for tough times, for retirement, for the unexpected. And for most of your journey, that approach served you admirably. But there comes a juncture, particularly past 60, when saving out of anxiety can start to restrain you. Let me clarify. The intent behind saving is to secure your future self, a strategy to pave the way for the life you envision later. But what occurs when later is now, when you've amassed enough, when your financial base is solid, yet you hesitate to spend a penny? I've witnessed this repeatedly. I once met a man with over $2 million in retirement funds, no debts, a mortgage-free home, and more than enough to sustain him. Yet, whenever his wife proposed a getaway, a camper, or a fine dinner, he stiffened. What if something goes wrong? What if we need it later? I gently asked, what if you never use it? What if later doesn't arrive as planned? That question lingered with him, and perhaps with you too. Saving matters, but there's a moment to trust the foundation you've built. Grant yourself the freedom to savor it. Take the journey. Purchase the gift. Forge a memory. Not carelessly, not without reflection, but without remorse. If you plan wisely and your essentials are met, those savings aren't just for crises. They're for living, for connection, for delight. So, I invite you to shift your perspective. Instead of wondering, what if I run out? Ask, what's worth investing in while I still can? Your time is present, not deferred, not distant. It's now. 2. Abandon spending on what fails to uplift you. The second release after 60 is ceasing to spend on what doesn't spark joy. Now that you've embraced spending, ensure it's directed wisely. Too often, we fall into routines, purchasing out habit, obligation, or guilt, striving to maintain appearances, please others, or fill an unnamed void. But pause and reflect. How much of your spending genuinely brings happiness? I once spoke with a woman in her early 70s who revealed she'd spent thousands annually on unworn clothes, obligatory gifts, and discounted gadgets. Yet, the memory that stood out was a $600 flight to surprise her sister on her birthday. They laughed, cried, and stayed up late swapping stories. A weekend that outshone all her shopping sprees combined. That's the distinction between spending and spending with purpose. After 60, your resources should align with your deepest values. Perhaps that's travel, supporting your grandchildren's education, hosting weekly friend dinners, or investing in a recliner that eases your back. Whatever it is, focus there. Release the expenditures that feel burdensome, hollow, or rushed. Let go of spending rooted in guilt, fear, or the urge to impress. You owe no one an account of how you choose to relish your days. And remember, joy doesn't always carry a price. The richest moments can be the simplest. Sitting on the porch with a loved one, penning a letter, or strolling in nature without your phone. Before you spend, ask, does this enhance the life I want, or is it mere distraction? Spend with intention. Spend with heart. The aim isn't to hoard or deplete. It's to infuse meaning. 3. Cease exchanging time for income unless it fulfills you. The third release is stopping the trade of time for money unless it still holds significance. For much of your life, Time and earnings were intertwined. You labor for a wage, earning your keep through attendance, effort, and duty, even when it was grueling or unappreciated. That was essential. It built your world. But you're in a new chapter now, where time is your greatest treasure. Ask yourself candidly, are you still working because it fulfills you or because you dread stopping? Does your role provide purpose or merely occupy you? I'm not suggesting retirement at 60 if work still energizes you, offering structure and connection. Keep at it, but do so by choice, not habit or fear. I knew a high school teacher with 30 years in the classroom. At 62, people asked, "When will you retire?" His reply was straightforward, "When I stop loving it." He taught until 67, then one morning felt the shift. He stepped away with peace, not regret. That's my wish for you. Yet, I've also seen the opposite. Those clinging to jobs they dislike, unsure of their identity without them, or hesitant to slow down, never granted permission to just exist. Here's the truth. You can always earn more, but time is irreplaceable. Once today slips away, it's gone. No paycheck can reclaim it. If work still inspires you, continue with pride. But if it exhausts you or blocks the life you desire, it may be time to release it. You've traded time for money long enough. Now, trade time for purpose. 4. End the delay of cherished experiences. The fourth release is halting the postponement of experiences you've longed for. How often have you thought, I'll travel someday, learn that skill next year, start that adventure when things calm down? But here's the stark reality. Someday isn't a marked date, and for many it never arrives. I recall a couple who dreamed of a cross-country drive in a vintage Airstream. They had the funds and time, yet year after year, they deferred to next summer. Then one winter, the husband faced a health scare, not life-threatening, but enough to pause. That was their awakening. They'd awaited permission that wouldn't come. They packed up, hit the road, and 6 months later, called it their best choice. Not because every day was flawless, but because they acted. That's the strength of seizing the moment. So I ask you, what have you been delaying? A trip, a hobby, a visit with an old friend, a letter you meant to write? Why not now? You needn't wait for retirement to live fully. Perfection isn't required, nor is anyone's approval. Most don't realize until too late that work, routine, even planning can be excuses, often masking fear of change, novelty, or prioritizing yourself. What if this year you released the weight? What if you permitted yourself to live now? Not in 5 years, not when conditions align, but today. You're not too old. It's not too late. You're entitled to craft memories that feel magical. At any age, the world brims with wonder. You just need to say yes. 5. Abandon neglecting your well-being. The fifth release after 60 is ceasing to overlook your health. I approach this with care, knowing it's a tender topic we must address. Many view retirement as a countdown of years, 15, 25, perhaps more. But a better question is, how many healthy years remain? Without robust health, the wealth in your account, the trips planned, or your stunning retirement home lose meaning if you lack the vitality to enjoy them. Consider this. Would you prefer $20 million with daily sickness, exhaustion, and pain, or $1 million with vibrancy, strength, and zest? Most, upon reflection, choose the latter. Yet, strangely, many live as if chasing the former. The good news? You don't need a complete life overhaul to feel better. No need to become a marathon runner or adopt a strict diet overnight. Begin modestly. Walk a bit more daily. Opt for water over soda. Stretch each morning or join a local fitness class tailored for your age. Even gentle strength training with guidance can boost balance, energy, and independence. This isn't about weight loss or reclaiming youth. It's about preserving freedom, playing with grandchildren, traveling pain-free, and waking with vigor instead of weariness. Your body is a vessel for your desired life, and like any vehicle, it needs regular upkeep, maintenance, and care. So, tend to yourself. Schedule that avoided doctor's visit. Take that first block walk. Prepare one healthy meal this week. Just one. Health isn't about flawlessness. It's about momentum. The ideal time to start is now. 6. Release concern over others' opinions. The sixth release is letting go of worrying about what others think. Let's be real. Much of our lives has been molded by others' expectations. Being a devoted parent, loyal worker, dependable friend. We followed the rules and met demands. But eventually, ask yourself, who am I living for now? I once had a client, a 65-year-old woman passionate about art, who dreamed of a painting class but hesitated. What if I'm terrible? What if people find it foolish at my age? I told her, so what if they do? She took the class and it transformed her. Not because she became famous, but because she finally acted for herself, no apologies needed. Here's a powerful truth. The older you get, the more liberty you gain to ignore external noise. Want to wear vibrant colors? Do it. Travel solo? Go for it. Decline exhausting family gatherings? You have that right. This isn't about rudeness or selfishness. It's about living authentically, ensuring you look back without regret. A hospice nurse, Bronnie Ware, wrote a book sharing end-of-life regrets. The top one? I wish I'd had the courage to live true to myself, not others' expectations. Let that resonate. Living by other standards too long erodes your presence in your own life. So, today, shed the pressure. Release the need to impress. Speak your truth. Pursue what you love. Let yourself be seen fully, genuinely, beautifully as you are. There's only one you, and it's never too late to step into your own story. 7. Step away from constant pessimism. The 7th release is moving beyond the daily dose of doom and gloom, at least not every day. This might catch you off guard. I'm not suggesting ignorance. Staying informed and aware as a thoughtful citizen matters. But there's a line between being updated and being emotionally overwhelmed. If you spend hours daily on news, any channel, you might feel the world's collapsing. That persistent stress, anxiety, and fear accumulate, taxing your body, clouding your mind, and robbing your peace. I often ask, have you met someone who, after 3 hours of cable news nightly, feels better about life? I haven't, but I've met many, dozens, who said stepping away from the endless news cycle lifted their mood, restored hope, and brought ease. Most news isn't crafted to inform. It's designed to hold your attention, and fear is a potent lure. The question is that where you want your focus? After 60, you realize attention is a precious resource, and you control its direction. You can dwell on what's broken or cherish what's still beautiful. Kindness, good deeds, music, laughter, growth, love. Stay informed, yes, but not at peace's expense. Limit your intake. Turn off the TV when needed. Seek uplifting stories. Read from sources respecting your intellect, not exploiting your fears. Ask, has this viewing spurred action, enhanced my life, or left me powerless? After your rich years, you deserve more than fear. You deserve peace, joy, and energy for what you can influence. 8. Move beyond ignoring or obsessing over finances. The 8th release is stopping the neglect of your financial plan, while also easing the obsession. This is a fine balance. Some avoid finances entirely, saying, it's too much, I'll handle it later, or I don't want to look. But avoidance doesn't erase issues, it lets them fester. After 60, understanding your money's role becomes crucial. What's your monthly need? What if health shifts? Are you shielded from surprises? You needn't be an expert, but a plan offering peace is essential. Now, consider the opposite, those fixated on finances. Perhaps you're one. They scrutinize every dollar, wondering, will a vacation affect my taxes? They delay joy for spreadsheets. The flaw? You didn't save and invest to stare at numbers. You did it to live. So, consult your advisor. Check your accounts. Ensure basics are secure. Then release it. Let your money fulfill its purpose, supporting your life, not dictating it. A solid plan should inspire confidence to say yes, not freeze you in fear. I told a client this, and it shifted his outlook. A great retirement plan isn't just a high balance. It's a life well lived. Stop avoiding finances out of dread or obsessing from anxiety. Use them as a tool to shape a joyful, deliberate life, one decision at a time. 9. Release the notion of endless time. The 9th and final release is letting go of living as if time is infinite. I say this not to alarm you, but to encourage fuller living. By our 60s, most have faced loss. Perhaps a parent, sibling, friend, or loved one no longer here. In those quiet, sacred grief moments, we're reminded of a truth often overlooked. Life isn't boundless. We know this in theory, yet we delay, wait for the perfect moment, convince ourselves we'll get to it. But you never know your remaining days, making today profoundly valuable. I ask clients a simple yet potent question. If you knew this was your last year, what would change? Who would you call? What would you say? What would you stop enduring? What would you finally start? Most answer quickly, but revert to old patterns. So, what holds you back from some of that now? You need to wait a diagnosis or crisis to awaken. You can rise today, fully aware of life's fleeting beauty. Forgive someone. Start that journal. Book the trip. Take the class. Plant the garden, or say, I love you, before the moment fades. You can't do it all at once, but you can begin. This isn't about fearing death. It's about honoring life, this singular, irreplaceable life you still hold. You're here. You're breathing. You have today. That's reason enough to stop waiting and truly live. So, there you have it. 9 releases after 60. Not because you faltered, but because you've earned the right to live lighter, freer, more intentionally. Letting go isn't surrender. It's creating space. Space for peace, joy, presence, for what truly matters. Let's recap. Release fearful saving, joyless spending. Trading time for money when it's your greatest asset. Stop delaying experiences that vitalize you, neglecting your health, your truest wealth. Let go of others' opinions, the negativity's din, financial fear without a plan, and the illusion of endless time. Because the truth is you have now, and that's enough to start. Before we part, I ask personally, what are you ready to release today? Reflect on it. If comfortable, share in the comments. You might inspire someone. If this resonated, reminding you of your worth, wisdom, or potential, share with a loved one, a friend, sibling, spouse, who might need this too. At Elders Insight, we see aging not as slowing down, but as showing up more fully than ever. Thank you for being here, for your time, heart, trust, and above all, for proving it's never too late for a life rich with purpose, connection, and joy. See you next time.